Hello everyone. Today we talk about the case of Terranova, the first Sino-U.S. legal dispute. Francis Terranova was an Italian sailor on American cargo ship, the Emily. It was recorded that Emily was a big ship with the cargo load over 500 tons and paid the harbor tax in Canton for 1,400 tons of silver, and his captain was William Copeland. On September 23rd, it's 1821, at Sunday, about 1:30 p.m., just after lunch, Terranova would like to buy some fruit. So he walked onto the deck of the cargo ship and waved to the nearby fruit vendor on a small boat. Then a Chinese lady named Guo Liangshi approached with some fruit on her sampan, and Terranova put a 50 won coin into the bucket and lowered it down to the small boat with a rope. And how much did it convert for the 50 won coin into today's currency? And let's calculate. And at the middle stage of the Qing dynasty, 1 till of silver equal to 2,000 won coin, and almost the same as the currency China's renminbi, 200 yuan. So the 50 won coin was about 8.5 renminbi yuan, or almost more than a little bit of $1. And after Guo received the 50 won coins, and she put some bananas and oranges into the bucket, and Terranova lifted it up and received the fruit. Yet Terranova felt the fruit that he got was not enough as he expected, or less than what he paid for. So he yielded to Guo for more fruit. And Guo also yielded back that if he wanted more fruit, and then more money needed. So argument began between them two. And one was on high of a big boat, and the other was on a small sampan. Then Terranova took a nearby clay pitcher for olives on the cargo ship, that's like about 7 pounds weight, and thrust it to Guo below. And it just hit the head of the vendor. Guo was hurt and fell into the water and then drowned. According to the autopsy later, and the right side of her head and a fatal injury was made to the skull, about 1.4 inches in length and 0.3 inches in width. And besides, there were 2 witnesses found for the incident. One was the victim's young daughter, as Guo Yadou, and the other was another vendor named Chen Lishi, and they happened to be nearby on another small boat. So after getting the news, the local government agency sent some officers to interrogate Terranova on the cargo ship. And initially, the Terranova denied anything to do with him. Yet the evidence of the picture and the 2 witnesses testify, and Terranova finally admitted that his crime of thrusting the pitcher to injure or kill the vendor lady. When the case ruled, and Terranova was sentenced for capital punishment according to China's law, and he had to pay or repay with his life. On October 28th, 1821, and 1 month after the incident, Terranova was hanged. Based on America's argument, Terranova accidentally hit the head of the lady with the pitcher and caused her drowning in the water. And just after the incident, the U.S. Consul Benjamin Wilcox hoped to deal with it privately, and by giving some money for compensation to the victim's family. When Terranova's case, the verdict was announced, American merchants in Canton jointly wrote to Chinese government for a protest. In their opinion, during the trial, there were no English translations for the evidence and the victims provided, and nor proper hearing about the case. And they believed Terranova was innocent and should be set free. So in 1822, U.S. President Monroe and State Secretary Adams also wrote to protest to Chinese government. And aftermath, some Western scholars also blamed the legal system of China's Qing government and criticized, and China was not a country that ruled by law. All the foreign cases should have to be in extraterritoriality. That's which means all the civil and criminal cases committed by foreigners in China should be judged by Western councils based on their own law rather than ruled by the Chinese government. Whatever happened that time, delinquent or innocent, 2 centuries passed already. A foreigner came over to China for tens of thousands of miles, argued only for several fruit, and injured and killed someone else, and also caused his own death abroad. Such a tragedy that should be avoided. With the engagement of Sino-U.S. economy and trade, then also began the Sino-U.S. cultural exchanges, which started from American missionaries to China. Our first one was Elijah Coleman Bridgman, and he was also the pioneer in the issue of China study. In April 1801, Bridgman was born in Massachusetts, and under the influences of his family, he was baptized at 11 years old and graduated from Amherst College at the age of 25, and then studied another 3 years in the seminary. In February 1830, sent by American Church, Bridgman came to Canton by U.S. cargo ship Romans. At that time, the U.S.Missionaries ran a magazine named the Chinese Repository, the first China study journal. Then Bridgman became the chief editor of the magazine and published many articles about China issue. In 1838, he published his book in Chinese about a brief account of the United States of America and some comparison to China. He praised U.S. democracy and its tremendous influences to American rapid development. In his opinion, America is a country based on its own people. Its prosperity and decline would both depend on the democracy. Just after independence, America was remote and limited in land and products. Yet within a few decades, it expanded in territory and boomed in economy, foreign trade, and people's welfare, and instantly rose up as a big power, thanks for its democracy and people's support. In June 1839, when Lin Zexu, the imperial envoy, confiscated and destroyed the opium at Canton, Bridgman was invited to attend the ceremony and made a detailed record of the incident. In 1844, the U.S. Cushing delegation came to China and signed the Treaty of Wangshan. Bridgman worked as U.S. advisor and interpreter. Then the first American education missionary into China, Samuel Robbins Brown, who graduated from Yale College in 1832 with bachelor degree of English literature. In October 1839, Brown came to China, and the president of Yale College, Jeremiah Mayer, also wrote a letter for recommendation. In February 1840, Brown arrived at Macau and taught at a church school and returned back to America in 1847. When he was leaving, he took 3 Chinese students together with him back to America for their further learning. They were Rong Hong, and formerly translated as Yong Wing. The other 2 was Huang Kuan and Huang Sheng. That 3 years after getting to America, Rong Hong enrolled in Yale College 1850 and graduated 4 years later, turning to be the first Chinese who graduated from American University. After Rong Hong got back to China, he organized 4 groups and total 120 Chinese overseas students to America, and most of them that became social elite for the future China, such as Zhang Tianyu, the father of China's railroad, Tang Shaoyi, the first prime minister of Republic of China, and Tang Guoan, the first president of China's Tsinghua University. In 1849, Huang Quan transferred from America to UK Edinburgh University for medical study, and later earned PhD degree and becoming the first Chinese physician of Western medical practice. Huang Sheng returned to Hong Kong in 1848 and due to health reasons, and later worked in various fields such as news, publications, and commerce and charity, and he naturalized to British nationality in 1883. Besides the first U.S. doctor missionary to China, Peter Parker, and later became the U.S. minister to China. We will have more details about him in the next session. With more engagements between China and America, more confrontations will follow. Meanwhile, the same as the British after the Nanjing Treaty, the commerce and profits-driven Americans that also sold opium to China and look forward to similar treaty. For more stories, we will talk about in the future. And thank you all, and see you next time.